Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me about my roof rack and this roof box, which is a Honda roof box, but it's not really. What it is a Thule roof box, and the only way you could really tell is because of this key right here. So it has a Thule key, and it's got the Honda emblem. There's plenty of storage inside. I don't know exactly how many square or cubic feet. And there's your Honda part number. But really what it is a Thule box. Honda slapped a badge on it and their part number. They put it on the pilots and the CRVs. So it was a part for one of those. So, as far as mounting it, I used the top factory mounting points. Thule now has the new quick release ones that grab onto the bars. Right there, but I took that off and I just ran regular Allen key bolts, and I used these for the nuts, and that's how I mounted it. So this is just info for the box because a lot of people were asking me about it. I do believe a lower profile one. I do believe a lower profile box would look better, but this one's certainly more practical for when I go cross country. And you could fit all kinds of stuff in here. So I'll be able to fit my drones, camera equipment, clothes, whatever. So do something silly. Okay, as far as taking it off, if I want to take it off, take the box off of the roof rack and put my tent on it, I have to take off the Allen key bolts from the inside quick releases. And it only takes a couple minutes. If I want to take off the whole thing, it's even quicker. I just disconnect this strapping here that I have on the rack. I have it on the inside too. So just 2 quick clips, and then I undo these vacuum pump suction cups, and I'll put links to these in the description. The ones on the back here are SeaSuckers, and they are 4.5-inch ones, I believe. I couldn't use the 6-inch ones, and up here I had to use Woods brand, and these are 3x6-inch ones. And the reason being is my requirements when I built this rack are, number one, I wanted to be able to take the targa on and off, so I couldn't put a cup on top of there. I take it on and off while having the roof box still installed. The other requirement was I wanted to be able to open up the engine hatch, the engine glass back here, to be able to check the oil, coolant, stuff like that. Now I can open it, but I can't open it too much. I can only open it to there, but it's enough for me to stick my arms in and check. The trunk also opens, although not all the way, but that was another requirement of mine. So that's why I couldn't put the SeaSuckers on the trunk lid. Another concern people had that they expressed on the forums were that this thing is a lawsuit waiting to happen because it could fly off if the vacuum pumps fail and kill somebody on the highway. And to that I say there is a video from DDE, DailyDrivenExotics, of them with a similar setup in a Lamborghini hitting 175 miles an hour. And when they did so, they did it, and he wanted to try 200 miles an hour, and I'll link the video below. And the second time when he went to go hit 200, he hit 175 or 176, and the roof box completely exploded. It just disintegrated into like 100 pieces. But the roof box came off because the weak points are where it connects. The suction cups did not fail. The SeaSucker vacuum pumps on the Lamborghini and DailyDrivenExotics did not fail. They worked absolutely fine, and they held all the way up to 175 and probably would have held up even longer.
Well, 175 did the trick, ripped it right off. Look at that. So what broke was the actual ski box. Just blew right off. All right, well that's the top.
Now, for an extra safety precaution, if all 4 of these were to fail, I have the strapping. And the strapping, I'll show you right here. I'm going to do a little bit of a modification. Right now, I just have them wrapped around my headrests, and I have it, I don't know if you could see that, right up there, so it can't come out. Now, if I have the target top off, it could. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this off, put a little bracket back there, a little D-ring for them to clip onto. And then in the trunk, I have them going 2 D-rings down here in my floor. So there's one right there, and that's the wood floor for the all the air stuff to be mounted to. So that's in there pretty good. And so even if all the suction cups failed, this thing is still strapped down to the car, so it couldn't really go anywhere. I suppose it could mess up my car, but it wouldn't hurt anybody else's. And I've had this thing, when I first put it on, I was a little concerned about speed, and I wanted to see how it held up. I slowly worked my way up to 40, up to 110 so far, and it's been fine. So people have been behind me. They say it looks good. It's not wobbling around too much or anything. So yeah, I just wanted to address people's concerns about that. And I'll link the DDE video in the bottom. Okay, I'll do some more shots of this, and I will post up the dimensions, whatever photographs I have of the build, but it's completely modular, so I could take it apart and fit it in my trunk. That was another requirement of mine. So comes off there and there. So this will be 1, 2, 3 pieces. So you have one arm, the centerpiece, and then that arm. That's 3 pieces. This comes off from there and there, and the same thing on that side. So you have those 4 bolts. So that leaves you with this flat part, which fits into my trunk, and these 3 pieces, and then this piece here that comes off, which is just one big bar. So on the NSX, because the roof kind of angles down there, these had to be fabricated a little strange, but it works. And there it is. That's the roof rack. I'm not going to take it apart in the video to show how it breaks down and fits in the trunk, but it does. So the trunk will open all the way like this. When the rooftop tent is on here, the trunk will still open all the way. But when the box is on it, it overhangs out to here, so the trunk does not open all the way, but still enough for me to grab a backpack, take it in and out, luggage, whatever. And that's it. Alright, so here it is with the trunk all the way open. Still a little bit of clearance there. I could about fit my pinky in between, but that's about it. But it clears, that's all that matters. As far as the engine bay opening up, it only opens up about a foot, I would say that is. But if I really have to get in there with the engine bay all the way open, these to open up are just as simple as squeezing here, and the whole thing pops up. To pump them back again, you get this orange spot right here, and that means that they need to be pumped up again. So every time I stop and get gas, I usually just check them, and if they need to be pumped, then that's great, I'll just pump them. But it hasn't happened in months where I've seen that, until I just did it purposely from the release just now. But to pump it up, there you go, and that's it. So I spent a lot of time designing this thing and thinking it over in my head, and just kind of picturing how it would look. And I don't have an aluminum welder. I have a Harbor Freight stick welder, but not a TIG welder, not an AC one. So I brought it to my friend David, who I'll link his YouTube channel below. He does interesting things with NSXs, and he also does a lot of my fabrication for me, including this rack. I told him what I wanted, and he made it exactly how I pictured it. And he's a good fabricator. I don't want to offer his services to say that he's available to do work for you, but if you ever need anything done, he's worth talking to, and maybe he can do it for you if he has the time. He's got a really nice NSX, so it was very convenient for me to just bring my box to him and set it up on top of his car and have him make it how I wanted it. And as promised, here's the dimensions: 33.125 by 31.75. Here's a couple sneak peeks of what the rooftop tent looks like stowed away on top of the NSX. Expect a video shortly from me in the near future about the rooftop tent. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. See you next time.